Helen Keller said that character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. Dealing with challenging students is not supposed to be easy. When a student is facing adversity that is beyond our control, we have to go through that struggle with them. If students are going through adversity that is keeping them from learning, instead of blaming them for being in the situation that they're in, we have to learn to sympathize with them. I think in a lot of cases, we struggle to empathize with them because we've never experienced some of the things that they're experiencing. Like, I don't know what it's like to be poor. I've never truly had that experience of not knowing if I'm going to have a meal. So I can't empathize with them. But I can feel like, man, that's messed up that we have a world where people are having to live in these circumstances. If I sympathize with them, it allows me to acknowledge that the circumstances that are creating the adversity in their life are preventing them from achieving the success that I know they're capable of achieving. So I'm not going to blame them for it. In fact, I'm going to look for solutions in order to help them get to where they need to be in spite of the circumstances that they're in. That's what Annie Sullivan did for Helen Keller. In spite of the hand that Helen Keller was dealt, and she was dealt a bad hand that she had no control over, just like many of our students. They may not be deaf and blind, but they have a lot of things that are keeping them from focusing and even having the desire to want to learn in school. But what Annie Sullivan did was she did not take no for an answer. She didn't sit there and say, because of this, you can't do, and because of this, you don't want to do. She didn't do either of those two things. And because Annie Sullivan took the approach of, I understand what you're going through, but in spite of your circumstance, we're going to figure out how to get you to where you need to be. That's what makes Annie Sullivan arguably the greatest teacher of all time. There's a student in every classroom that needs an Annie Sullivan. The only way you'll be able to unlock whether or not you could be that Annie Sullivan for that student is to talk to them. In order to sympathize with somebody, you have to know their story. And in order to know their story, you have to talk to them. And it can't be you talk to them one time. You have to continuously talk to them. And that's what circles allow you to do.